On this week's Tuesday Talk, we are talking tires. We had a viewer ask us about tires in general. He knew we had changed out our tires and safety concerns with tires. So we thought we'd touch on all of that in one Tuesday Talk.
We've been putting this off because there's a lot of numbers.
Yes.
But we are ready to address it. Now we have all new tires within the last several months on everything we own, which is basically the Airstream and the truck.
Yes. And we had actually planned on getting new tires on the Airstream, partially because the tires were a little bit old, but also because we wanted to get bigger wheels and bigger tires to help with some of our clearance issues. So we had planned to do that at Vinny's Airstream Repair around Memorial Day. We hadn't really planned on getting new tires on the truck until we got back to Tucson in the winter.
Until the fall, yeah.
And that didn't work out so well for us.
We knew we needed new tires on the truck when one of them exploded at 70 miles an hour.
Yes, on a highway while towing the trailer.
And that was probably due to the temperature and the sidewalls just giving way.
And we knew the tires needed to get changed. In fact, well, in general, when you see tires and you look at their tread, right? And if the tread's going, then you know they need to get changed.
The tread's one aspect.
Well, the tread on the tires on the truck were fine, but because they've been in Arizona for so long, what tends to go first in Arizona are the sidewalls, because of the heat that they have to go through for so many years.
So let's look at some numbers. On the truck, and I have my notes here, so that's why you see me looking down. We have BF Goodrich ATKO2s, which are on-road, off-road, but almost leaning more towards the off-road side, so the tread is really thick and we can get over anything. They're LT 265 70 R17, and I'm going to write that down here at the bottom of the screen. And what that means is the LT stands for light truck. So anytime you see a tire size that begins with LT, you're looking at a tire that's designed for a truck. You might see P tires, so P and VIN number, those are passenger tires, so they're not rated for as much weight to be put on those tires. The next number, 265 in our case, is the tire width in millimeters. The next number, 70, is the aspect ratio. So the tire's height is 70% of the tire's width. And the last number, R17, essentially that means the wheel size in diameter. So we have 17-inch wheels on the truck, and we have 16-inch wheels on the Airstream. The Airstream's tires are Michelin Defender LT 265 75 R16s. So they are slightly smaller tires. Both tires on the Airstream as well as the truck are all 10-ply. You may also see that referred to as the load range E, which means that the tires are rated effectively up to about 80 psi, and they can hold a certain amount of weight. On the truck, each tire can hold 3,100 pounds, actually a little more than 3,100 pounds. And the Airstream, it's something in the neighborhood of, I think, 2,600 pounds each tire. So our tires are way more than enough than what we need. But after having a blowout at 70 miles an hour and the gas line got severed into the diesel gas tank, or diesel fuel tank rather, we are taking absolutely no chances because that could result in death.
Yes, and I mean, yes, the fuel line was a major issue, but having a blowout could result in death for all of us.
Yeah.
It could result in totaling our Airstream. We have tire pressure monitoring system.
TPMS.
Which gives us peace of mind, but having a blowout or having a tire go flat while traveling on the highway could just rip apart your travel trailer. And that's our home. So besides the fact that we want to stay safe, we also want to keep our home and our vehicle safe. And I think tires are probably one of the absolute key things
Yeah, for a TPMS, when the PSI slowly decreases, if you have a cut or something in your tire or a nail, it's gonna show you that in the cab. It didn't in our case because the tire completely blew and it stopped sending a signal.
Well, it broke
the sensor stopped sending a signal to the receiver in the cab.
Yeah,
and the way that
blew, it broke.
And the way that most TPMSs work is it's not going to immediately alert you if it loses signal, because you'll get alerts all the time. So in our case, I think the TPMS system will give you the same tire pressure, or the last known tire pressure in the last like 30 seconds or a minute or something, or whatever the threshold is. It might actually be 2 minutes. And if it keeps getting nothing, then it will alert you. Yeah. So if you watch that video, I was kind of upset that our TPMS did not alert us, even though it was very obvious that our tire blew. I didn't need it. But that's why we bought the TPMS.
Yes, and the TPMS.
But that was the reason.
Yeah, it's more for it. When that was such a catastrophic failure, it broke the sensor right on impact, because it took out the fuel line, took out a lot of stuff. And we don't want that to ever happen again. So we went with overkill tires, and we went with tires that are better for off-roading than others might, because of the fact that we want to boondock as much as possible, and we don't want our tires to hold us back.
And a pro tip. Especially when money allows, but even if it doesn't, really consider this, that when you need to replace one tire, replace them all.
Yeah.
Replace them. Just like when one of your headlights goes, replace them both. Because if one breaks, if one goes, if one gets destroyed, the other one or one of the other tires or headlights might be right behind it. So we wanted all 4 tires completely fresh, as we drive down the road with our 10,000-pound Airstream behind us.
Airstream home behind
yes.
us.
Yep.
So that's it about tires. We highly recommend that you take this opportunity to go out and check your rig's tires, your tow vehicle's tires. It never hurts. Even if you know that they're fine, they should be fine for another year or so. Take a look at the tread, look at the sidewalls, look for cracks in the sidewalls if you live in someplace hot like Arizona. It is better to be safe than sorry when it comes to tires, and we've learned that lesson, and we want to help you learn it without
suffering the same fate.
Yeah, without quite the same catastrophe that we had to.
Yep, tires are important.
Tires are very important. That's it for this Tuesday Talk, guys. If you have a question for us for a future Tuesday Talk, please leave it in the comments below, because we are looking for new topics. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next week for another Tuesday Talk.
Hopefully it'll be as exciting as this one, but fewer numbers.
You did good with the numbers.
Yeah, I did okay.
You did good. You did good.
Yeah, I did okay. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.